Hit one.
I'm tapping in, I'm passionate, this is what passion is. This here now, this is no accident. From the start to the finish, I'm cashing in. I am number one, not number two. If I'm not the one, I'm uncomfortable. See the competition I've been running through. Leveled up, I only see you. Yeah, I'm ballin', yeah, I'm ballin', and ballin'. Yeah, I'm ballin', yeah, I'm ballin', and ballin'. I'm winning big buckets from the courtside to the nosebleeds, and they love it.
Now come on in, man. We're gonna have a good one. We're gonna talk about this thing, Shaunie and Oneal. I don't know if you guys can hear me hit one. You can hit me hit one. Hold tight.
If I'm not the one, I'm uncomfortable. See the competition I've been running through. Leveled up, I only see you. Yeah, I'm ballin', yeah, I'm ballin', and ballin'. Yeah, I'm ballin', yeah, I'm ballin', and ballin'. I'm winning big buckets from the courtside to the nosebleeds, yeah, they love it. I'm winning big buckets on the first team and the last time see me coming.
All right, guys, this is, man. I don't know if you guys heard about the Shaunie Oneal fiasco. Y'all hit one, man. We're going to get into it, man. But it just proves, guys, what we've already known or always known about modern women dating and relationships. I don't know if you guys heard it, but if you guys can hear me, hit one. If you guys can hear me, hit one. What's up, guys? If you can hear me, hit one. But I don't know if you guys heard about it. Shaunie Oneal recently came out and said she don't know if she ever loved Shaq. And so what does this prove to us as men? What does this prove to us as men? The fact that she said she never loved Shaq. And we've told you guys not one time, but several times, you should never get married for love. Listen, guys, love is a feeling. It's an emotion. It's an emotion that comes and goes. And you guys will be shocked, the stuff that I see in therapy on a regular basis. Y'all can hear me hit one. If y'all can hear me hit one, you guys will be shocked, the stuff that I see on therapy on a regular basis when it comes down to relationships. Shout out to everybody in the chat. The woman that you marry, guys, can be the best choice you make in your life, or it can be the worst choice that you make in your life. And so many men have got caught up in the concept called love. But you got to ask yourself the question, what is love? And I told you guys not one time, but several times before in the past, you should never fall in love with a woman. But you should love within reason. You should love everyone within reason, but you should never fall in love. And see, the problem with a lot of men, we still operating on the old hard drive. We still operate on that old hard drive, and the assumption and the presumption that somebody loves you. And a woman can never love you, guys. A woman can never love you unless she knows how to put her feelings aside for the greater good of that relationship. And so it's something that we've always known as men in these spaces, that women don't necessarily love you unless they can love outside of themselves. A woman gonna always love her children. She gonna always love her offspring. But when it comes down to love, can a woman just love you purely for the purpose or whatever? And most can't. The only way a woman can love you is if it costs her something. And see, what a lot of men do, y'all still call up in that whole concept called love. I see it in couples therapy all the time when men pledge their love or their professional love for a woman, only to have that woman either minimize his need and his worth, or that man suffer in silence in general. And when you realize that love is just a feeling, it's just a feeling that comes and goes, You don't get caught up in the concept called love. The sad thing is, most men don't know how to stand in power. Most don't know how to stand in power. Most have never had a strong community or a tribe of men to teach them what power is. And so many men compromise their power for the pursuit of love. They compromise their power for the pursuit of relationships. And so you should never love, but you also a woman based on the concept of feelings, but you should love within reason. And when you start learning how to love within reason, you don't take it personal when that woman decides to leave you. Can you imagine after a couple of kids and all the wealth that Shaq has given this woman, and this woman came out and said she don't love Shaq. She don't know if she ever really loved Shaq. And it's shocking, guys, because to a lot of guys it really hurts when you think you got a woman that loves you intrinsically, and then you realize it was never true love. That hurts. That's very hurtful to a man. And that's why self-reflection is so important. You got to know what your limits are as a man. But see, here's the problem with a lot of men. Many men have not been conditioned to set standards. Many men have not been conditioned to understand what their worth is and what their value is. And a woman like Shaunie Oneal, after having all those kids by Shaq, she was still able to get a sucker. and it's gotten so bad, guys, with a term that I created, because I never heard anybody use the term until I created, called Hypergamy, that now women can have extraneous body counts. They can have children by multiple men, and nothing happens. Nothing happens. And so men continue that cycle of giving up power over and over and over and over again for the feeling called love. To you men that are listening, some of you have been besmirched by a concept called love. But can a woman really love a man? And I would say no, unless she's been trained by society. She knows how to manage her emotions and her feelings, and she knows how to pour into a man. But just off the strength of a concept called love, Shaunie Oneal proved what we already knew as men, that most can't love you just for the sake of love. But once again, men are still operating on that 1950 hard drive where they assume and assert that a woman's going to love them just on something called feelings. Just on something called feelings. You're right, Scott H. This is on the heels of an uproar about black athletes selecting white women. No doubt, brother. I agree with you 100%, Scott H. You're correct. And they wonder why the concept of the passport bros have proliferated. I got a show tonight coming up with Ron Wills. Ron Wills is the OG. But they wonder why the passport bro movement has proliferated so powerfully. And it's proliferated for a myriad of reasons, or for many reasons. It's proliferated mostly because men are not getting their needs met. And Shaunie Oneal, once again, has proven, or did prove, while a lot of men are saying, you know what, enough is enough. Why am I settling for? Why am I getting married only to have an entitled woman that will more or less throw it in my face in the past? Think about it, guys. Think about the hard work that you put in. Look at all the work that Shaq had to put in and to become the man that he is. All the hours he had to put in shooting the basketball, getting conditioned, only to find out that at this point in his life, that the woman that he pledged his love to, and Shaq was doing this thing too, this woman now is coming off cuff said she never loved him. So I don't believe in no concept called love. And if you do love a woman, you should love within reason. You should never love to the point that you give outside of yourself, to the point you don't have power as a man. Once again, men are still operating on the 1950s hard drive. How you doing, dear? What's going on, sweetie? How you doing, Shalakim? It's been a minute, sweetie. How you doing, baby? But men are still operating on the 1950 hard drive called love. And Shaq's wife, once again, admitted that she don't know if she really ever loved Shaq. And I'm gonna break it down, guys. I'm gonna break this thing down. Because Shakespeare said it better than me. He said, to thine own self be true. And see, when you can learn, guys, how to be true to yourself, when you can learn how to love yourself as a man, when you can learn how to, yeah, right, she loved his money. Right, you're right, sis. She loved his money. When you can learn how to love yourself, to the point that you are able to walk away from a woman if she's not bringing value to your life. That's where your power relies or resides as a man. But you got a lot of black men that are dying and going to the grave, many based on a concept called love, and many based on a broken heart. Because see, listen, I know, you know, and if you don't know, men don't necessarily fall in love. Men don't necessarily, guys, fall in love. But when a man does fall, that's why we use the word fall in love, it can be very deleterious to his life as a man. And that's why I say you should never fall in love, but you should love within reason. Because see, here's the problem. Women by nature, many of them are slaves to their emotions. They're just slaves to their emotions, but they're not slaves to the mission of a man. Men many times can be slaves to their ego. And sometimes y'all think as men that you can win the love of a woman. But see, a woman cannot really love you until she can love outside of herself. And Shaunie Oneal has proven that. She has proved that and or is proving that as we speak. She's proven that. She's proven that she cannot love unless it costs something. And so I think the more men realize that, and the more men understand that they got more power than they really realize, then you won't keep putting yourself in a predicament where you can become a slave to a concept called love. Because see, love is just a feeling, it comes and goes. Love is just a feeling that comes and goes. But see, Whitney Houston said it back in the past. She said, learning to love yourself is the greatest love of all. And so we're going to get deep into it, guys, because once again, I don't believe in a concept called love. I don't believe in it. Because once again, you should love within reason, but you should never love to the point that you sabotage your true emotions as a man. And the problem that we're seeing, guys, now with so many men, once again, are not raised in a tribe of masculine men that teach them values. I see it so many times in sessions where men don't know what their value is. They don't know what their worth is. And it's one thing to get with a woman that will affirm you as a man. It's one thing to get with a woman that will honor you and respect you as a man. But it's another thing to get with a woman that think just by default, just because she has a vagina, that she deserves the best. And so I'm going to break this thing down, guys, because many are falling by the wayside based on a condition called love. Let me teach you men something. You will know that a woman loves you, once again, if she can control her emotions. If a woman can give you when she don't feel like giving to you. If her attraction for you is strong. If her attraction is a natural or mutual attraction, then that means that woman loves you. But the question remains, did Shaunie Oneal ever love Shaquille O'Neal? And that's why I told you guys, you can't be true to the woman, but you got to be true to the game. Once you get true to the game, then you don't take it personal when they walk away. You don't take it personal after 20 years or after investing with all the work and sacrifice that when she walks away, you don't take it personal. And then see, now men are wondering why men don't want to date anymore. Minnie Alexander talked about the 3 Ds of relationships. She talked about penis, drinks, and dating. And so now men are saying, you know what, I'm going to get her before she gets me. Because men now know what the game is. They know that the game is rigged. So a lot of men are saying, you know, I'm going to get her before she gets me. I'm not going to give her all of those things. If I do give it to her, I might give her the D and give her the drinks and the date. And then after that, I'm going to get rid of her. Because men are realizing that most modern women don't love men based on principle, but they tend to love opportunistically. And Shaunie Oneal is proving that. I'm gonna read some of the comments or read into what she was actually saying. But it's a sign of the time, guys. It's a sign of the times. It's never been seen before, probably in our lifetime. I'm from Gen X. I don't remember women being like this. And even though a woman has always had a dark nature, most women didn't respond to their dark nature the way modern women are responding to their dark nature now. And when you have women that try to teach women how to be responsible women, when you have other sisters trying to teach women not to abuse men, those women don't get respected. Those women don't get evaluated. Those women don't get respected. Those women get called mammies and pick-me's. And when I see so many clients in therapy now, guys, you see so much lack of self-awareness. You see so much, you see many times a lot of them tend to have narcissistic traits. They have no sense of self-awareness. They have no sense of respect for the humanity of a man. And Shaunie Oneal, once again, is proving why so many men are checking out. She's proven why so many men are beginning to appraise the so-called concept called love. Because once again, what is love? If you cannot love a man when your feelings are not involved. When you, once again, a woman, you will know that a woman loves you, men, is when she have good emotional regulation. When a woman has good emotional regulation, that's love to a man. When she can do things outside of how she feel, that's love. Because see, most women tend to love their children first and also their feelings and their children. But when a woman can love a man outside of that consistently and she's disciplined, that's love. But see, once again, the modern woman doesn't love men like that. She's a slave to her feelings instead of being a slave to the mission of that relationship. That's why relationships don't last like they used to, because many are so entitled. And a lot of men are checking out. Deborah Thomas, not every woman's a Shaunie. I'm 56, been happily married for 20 years, sir. And good for you, sis. Good for you. You're one of the rare ones. But you got to understand that you're from Gen X. Shaunie Oneal is not a Gen X. Shaunie Oneal is a millennial. So you're from Gen X. You understood and remember a time when relationships were different. You remember a time when women were more congenial, when women were more respectful. But Shaunie Oneal is an archetype of the typical modern woman. You guys got to understand there's a difference between a traditional woman and a modern woman. It's a difference. And I'm talking about the modern woman. I'm not talking about traditional women that put in work. I'm not talking about traditional women that love and respect and honor men. I'm not talking about those women. If you're not the type of woman that I'm talking about, then don't take it personal. I'm talking about modern women like Shaunie Oneal. And we understand and know that traditional women are becoming the thing of the past. They're rare. You don't see them as much anymore. And that's why guys are becoming so indifferent to dating and relationships. I'm going to play this clip real quick by my man Ingram. Shout out to Peaceful Life.
The statement that you weren't in love with him or whatever.
Shout out to my brother Peaceful Life. If you guys can hear me, hit one.
Lesson, the response that Shaquille O'Neal give for many men, and I'm telling you why.
And so this is what she said. I understood I wouldn't have been in love. She said, I understand I wouldn't have been in love with me either. Wishing you all the best. All love, Shaq. And I don't even know what that means. But this woman played the game. She played the game. What's up, Byro Hammer TV? What's up, brother? How you doing, sir? But this woman played the game the whole time. She played the game the whole time, guys. Played the game the whole time until she got what she wanted. And that's why I told you guys once again, don't come into these groups talking about your anecdotal experience. Your anecdotal experience don't necessarily justify the rule. We know that there's a cadre of women or a percentage of good women that are still wholesome. They're respectful, and they want the best for black men, black children, black families, and the black community. But that's becoming far and far in between. And like I said, guys that don't have a lot of experience with women, guys that don't understand how modern dating has changed, they become a prey to the game. Once again, most women, not all, but many women tend to love opportunistically, especially now in modern times. What do I mean by opportunistically? Well, listen, there's a concept called hypergamy, right? There's kosher hypergamy. There's carnal hypergamy. One aspect of hypergamy is fit. It's fit and proper and normal for a woman to want a good man. But then there's another aspect of a hypergamy that's dangerous. That aspect of hypergamy seeks to destroy a man. It seeks to be exploitative. And many times men wake up at the last minute only to realize what they thought they had in a relationship is not necessarily what they're getting. And so once again, you should never be a slave to a concept called love, because love is an emotion that comes and goes. What you should be a slave to is your mission as a man. What you should be a slave to is your purpose as a man. What you should be a slave to is your love for God. Love God, your purpose on the front end. Love your woman on the back end. Because see, when you make a woman invest in you, invest in the relationship, she's more apt to stay in that relationship. But if you still operating on a 1950 hard drive where you say, I'm just going to give for the sake of giving, guess what? it teaches that woman that her value is greater than yours. And what it does, it causes a disequilibrium in relationships. Hold tight, listen to this.
Because
Shout out to
the
Peace
truth
for
of the
Life.
matter is this. If that woman was really happy, she would not even give a rat's ass about Shaq. She would be thinking about her new life, her happiness.
And here's the problem with this woman, guys. This woman, why would she even say something about Shaq? This is the part I don't understand. Why would she even say anything about Shaq if she got a man? This woman got a man, so I don't even understand why she's saying that now. Is she coming out saying that now because Shaq got a younger version, this younger, tight, holler version? Or does she really mean it? We don't know her true motives. But I don't understand the logic of coming out now saying she don't know if she ever really loved Shaq. That's what she said. She said she don't know if she really loves Shaq. And that's a problem. And let me ask you guys a question. The whole concept called love, do you guys still believe in the concept called love? Do you believe in the concept called love? Because once again, Shaunie Oneal said that in her book that she wrote, she wasn't in love with him. So once again, can you imagine after you invest so much time in a woman, that a woman finally tells you she don't know if she was found really in love with you? Shaunie Oneal have responded to a book excerpt. Shaquille O'Neal responded to a book excerpt in which his ex-wife Shaunie admitted she might have never been in love with the legend. Henderson Now, who created the VH1 Basketball Wives series, released a book entitled Undefeated, Changing the Rules and Winning on My Own Terms. Oneal, now 52, of the NBA analyst for TNT, responded in a post to what Henderson had written about her marriage in a book. He said, I understood Oneal wrote, I wouldn't have been in love with me either. Wishing you all the best. Love, Shaq. And Shaq took the high road, guys. He took the high road. But once again, men tend to be more congenial when it comes down to relationships and trying to be fair. But then once again, one will argue, was Shaq's father a simp? Was Shaq's father a simp? Or his stepfather a simp? Many times, once again, boys and men come into relationships not knowing what their value is, not knowing what their worth is. And they get with women that are not necessarily, how can I say it? They get with women that are not emotionally mature. And because when they get with women that are not emotionally mature, and I'm not saying that Shaq was a perfect man, Shaq did his dirt. But once again, what is the logic of coming out now at this current nexus in her life to say, I don't know if I ever really loved Shaq? And now people are beginning to see and understand why that dating has been reduced to penis, drinks, and going out on dates. Because men are saying, you know what, I'm not going to take her serious for a wife. I'm not going to take her serious for a relationship. And like my man Scott H said, did she keep Shaq's last name? I think she did. I don't know about now. But that's what a lot of men are saying. A lot of men are saying that. And it's becoming harder and harder and harder to find a traditional woman that loves you for you. She loves and respects you for you instead of what you got as a man. It's becoming harder and harder to find that. And so one would say, I'm not shocked that Shaunie Oneal said what she said. Most guys would say, I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked that Shaunie Oneal did what she did. I'm not shocked that she said that. And she said it for whatever reason. But once again, one will argue, what was the justification? Because you guys are beginning to see over and over and over again. The internet has been a blessing and it's been a curse. It's been a blessing because it's allowed men to see modern women behavior in full display. It's been a curse for a lot of women because it's made average women think that they are entitled to the top tier men. But Shaq took it in strides. He didn't call out her name or anything. He took it in strides. But once again, it proves over and over and over again, guys, that you should be loyal to yourself first. You shouldn't be in love with the feelings called love. You should be in love with yourself. Love your woman within reason, but love your God and your purpose first. Then love your woman on the back end, because men should never be slaves to a feeling called love. Don't you guys know and understand that once you fall in love, it's almost akin to a woman carrying a baby. A woman is most vulnerable when she's carrying the seed of a man. But when a woman implant that seed in a man's mind, now that man is vulnerable. That man is the most vulnerable because now the seed has been planted in his mind that this woman's going to love me and hold me down. And once again, women of the past or women of latter generations, you had a greater chance of finding that. But in this generation now, it's becoming harder and harder and harder to find traditional women that were raised by traditional men. It's becoming harder and harder to find women that understand and respect male leadership. And so when men begin to say what they want and what they deserve in a relationship or desire, it's often met with shame, which is a form of manipulation. But see, when you learn to love yourself over the feeling called love, when you learn to know what your standards are and what your boundaries are, you don't become a slave to the game. You become, once again, a slave to your mission and a slave to the laws of God. And then you can love your woman in reason. If that woman decides to walk out, it's going to hurt you, but you can get back up and rebound and move forward. Because watch this. Think about all the men that have taken their lives, guys, early on. They took their lives early on because they fell in, they became a slave to the game or the feelings called love. Love is an emotion. It comes and goes. It's up. It can be down. But when a woman is truly invested in you, when you get with a woman when she saw you as her select choice, then the chance of that woman loving you is a lot greater versus a woman that got you on the back end where her value is lower. And now all of a sudden, she don't really love you. She just see you as a means to an end. And I think once men begin to understand that and know that, they don't take it personal no more. I'm not against loving your woman and taking care of your woman, but you got to love your woman within reason. And when you love her within reason, you understand just like you have a dark nature, your woman got a dark nature too. And many times they are opportunists. They are opportunists, meaning once her virtue is gone, then she's going to try to find a man that's going to love her and take care of her children by other men or more or less give her a safe haven. But see, that's something that your father never taught you. And that's what's happening now. So many men have become weak because they don't have strong masculine leadership. And once again, guys, I see it all the time in therapy. I see it all the time in couples counseling. Men don't know what their worth is. They compromise their power. They're in sexist relationships because they fell into a concept called love because that woman planted that seed in his head. That woman planted the seed that she would love him forever. And so once again, when men fall in love, they become enchanted by the concept called love. Hold tight.
Join her husband.
If you guys can hear this at one. Shout out to Peaceful Life.
And I tell you what's happening. She's watching TV. She's seeing Shaq and his enjoyable, playful, fun-loving, he's just a big, joyous type fella. And everybody loves the guy. The guy is great. He's funny. He's comedic. He has a great
If y'all can hear that, hit one.
And here she is laying next to the guy that
Charlotte Gregory Scotland
is like her last option.
Right. The guy that's like her last
He's
option.
not Shaq.
And so
She's been imprinted by Shaq. And this is what I talk about. I'm not saying this guy's a simp. About a lot of guys getting with women and women pick you as the last option because they always crave. She craves the diesel.
Right. Shout out to Gregory Scott. He said, Coach, he said these women always need to be public. Right. Shout out to Gregory Scott. I appreciate it, man.
These types of statements. And what a lot of guys can learn from this is.
So once again, did she say I never really loved Shaq because Shaq got a hot wife, a hot new girlfriend that's younger and tighter? And her best days are over with, and she's jealous. Because let me tell you something, guys. A lot of them don't want to see you happy. A lot of these modern women don't want to see you happy. Many of them think they're better than you. They don't want to see you happy. And many of them think that they are better than you. And once you guys understand that, then you don't take it personal. The greatest flex that a man got, guys, is when he can stand on his own 2 feet and he ain't got to rely on anything from a woman. That's the greatest flex that a man got. But I think the problem with so many men is that men don't know what their power is. You don't know what your power is. That's why you continue to compromise your power for a feeling called love. You don't know what your power is. Don't you know guys, to the guys that are in the mid-40s to the early 40s to 50s, like early 50s like myself, if you eat clean, work out, take care of yourself, got your money up, your better years are in your latter years as a man. And see, Shaq has proven it right into full display. Shaq is getting him a younger, hotter woman. She's 21. And many don't like it because they don't want to see you happy. They can talk about what their needs are. They can talk about what they have. They can talk about what they want. But when they see a man like Shaq, they got him a young, hot, pretty woman. Many don't like it, guys. They don't like that. Many are saying, how dare you get you a hot, young, pretty woman without my approval? Because once again, that's narcissistic traits. Why do you think so many women were a lot happier? Because they always paint the narrative that, women were in abusive relationships, the men were mean to them. They always paint the narrative that women were in abusive relationships, the men were mean. But why do you think women years ago that had less tend to be a lot more happy? I'm not saying they didn't have issues, but they were happier because they had family, and they were happier because they understood the service and the duty of one another. The man's job is to serve her and love her. Her job is to serve and love him. But many come into modern relationships just by default thinking that they are the prize, and they're not the prize. I believe that men are the master prize, and I believe that that woman is his special prize. When that woman adds value to his life, that makes that relationship a lot better when she adds value to his life. But on the flip side, it makes her life better when she understands her duty and her mission as a woman. And some don't understand it. That's why we keep going having these circular conversations, guys, over and over and over again. Hold tight.
Sometimes it's all about the irritation. Irritation. Give you an example. Tia Mowry, Corey Hardrick. Corey Hardrick doesn't.
And see, I think Peaceful Life bring a key point. Just like Tia Mowry. Tia Mowry, like he's saying, Corey Hardrick. I think he brings a key point. See, what women don't understand, guys, is that her greatest value is in her younger years. She's at her prettiest in her younger years. But that beauty begins to fade and dissipate over a span of time. Women now are not being taught to capitalize on the beauty aspect of themselves. They're not being taught that. Men are being taught by their fathers and sometimes, many times, by their mothers to get their careers. There's nothing wrong with a woman getting a career. I don't have a problem with that. But you should never get a career to the point that it supersedes the greater relationship. What is the greater relationship? The greater relationship is family, if you believe in family. Now, if you don't believe in family, I'm not talking to you. But if you believe in the concept called family, you should focus on your family first and let everything else take care of itself. But a lot of modern women now, they're not seeing that. So they focus on careers. They forfeit many times their youthfulness. And then once they get older and get traumatized by being promiscuous with a lot of men, then all of a sudden they want a good man on the back end. And it doesn't work that way. Men understand that it doesn't work that way. Their value gets better with time. They understand that their greater is later. And women that are wise and mature capitalize on getting with good men at the right time. If I was a single man in the game again, guys, I would never deal with the typical modern woman. At 52, I would get a younger woman from a culture that understands and respects traditionalism. A woman that understands the mission, a woman that can love outside of herself, a woman that understands the duty and the mission of being with a good man. And what women don't understand is that when they learn how to serve a good man, I'm not talking about a Pookie or Ray Ray or Raekwon and a man. But I'm talking about a man that's going to reciprocate as she reciprocates. Then that makes the relationship better. Byron Hammer said, I believe Shaq's new acquaintance is in her early 20s. Yeah, good for him. Yeah, right. She's 21. So I think Byron, his ex-wife is having a schema affliction. You know, she's saying, damn, Shaq got him this young, tight hottie. And they get mad once again, guys, when men starts flexing and when they know what their worth is. I wouldn't deal with a woman my age if I was a single man. What would I look like at 52 dealing with a woman that's 52? I would deal with a younger woman. Now, thank God my wife looked fairly good for her age, but I would never deal with a woman. At my age, I'm not dealing with a woman my age. I don't want a woman my age. I would get with a younger woman that's old school traditional. And it's becoming harder and harder to find in America. But I wouldn't deal at 6'5", highly educated. I'm not dealing with a woman my age. Because see, a youthful, feminine, kind woman is a compliment to a man. That's why men tend to like younger women, because it's part of it's part of what I call relationship symmetry. But also it's part of that biological hard drive that men have. Men like younger women. It's nothing like a younger woman, a woman that can add value into a man's life. And I think my brother Peace of Life is correct. I think Tia Mowry thought she had forever. Tia Mowry was singing that song by Keith Sweat, Make This Last Forever. I think she thought she had forever until she got back onto the dating game and the dating scene, only to realize that the options she had in her 20s, she don't still have those options. I think Shaunie Oneal, after she had all those kids by Shaq, she got a man. She got a man that's a pastor. But her current husband don't have the power and status of Shaquille O'Neal. And I would say to the pastor, why would you marry a woman that got 4 and 5 kids, an ex-wife? Even though she was married, I would never marry Shaunie Oneal, because a man can get better. And I don't understand why so many men settle. But I do understand the reason. The reason is we don't have strong men that more or less keep the bar high. We don't have strong men that have standards and tell men what their worth is. We don't have strong communities and strong leaders to tell men what their worth is. I heard somebody recently say that a pastor tried to shame men and told all the men to stand up and marry the single mom. So you know how insulting that is, guys. After you've done the work, you put in work, you've done what you're supposed to do as a man, and you make good choices. And listen, I'm not talking about a single mom that's an humble woman, a single mom that's a kind woman, a single mom that's traditional, she's ready to serve. I would say personally, I don't expect men. If as a man, I would not advise a man, if he's single and no kids, to get with a woman that got kids. I don't think it benefits that man. But if she's a humble woman, she's willing to serve, it's something to consider. But by and large, the problem with many single women with kids now is that they're entitled. That's what makes it so hard. If they weren't so entitled, then it would be different. But they're entitled, and the entitlement is tied to the lack of self-awareness. The entitlement is a sign that we live in a gynocratic society. The entitlement is a byproduct of not learning how to pour into your man. Teddy Pendergrass said it better than me, and I've always quoted this many times. Teddy said, it's so good to love somebody and somebody to love you back. Teddy understood it. It was just an understanding back in the day. Women years ago understood that if you want a man to love you, you got to love him back. You got to serve him. Shout out to good sisters like Sister Bashir. How you doing, dear? That sister, she understands it. She understands the mission. She understands that she was sanctioned and purposed by the Creator to serve her husband on the front end. I serve him on the front end by listening to him. I serve him on the front end by respecting him. I serve him on the front end by that dirty word that many don't like, obeying him. Because you obey the laws of the land, you obey your so-called boss at the job. But the man that has been sanctioned to die for you, you don't want to obey him. And some call themselves women of faith. But the scripture is clear. It says, women, honor and obey your husbands. But the scripture never told the woman to love the man. But it did tell her to obey and honor her man, because obedience means discipline. One of the fruit of the spirit is temperance and patience. A lot of women don't have temperance and patience. That's why they can't love their husbands, because they don't have the temperance and patience that's necessary. So many men now are in sexist marriages and sexist relationships. They're losing half of their assets. So many men are at the brink of taking their lives. And they're at the brink of taking their lives because they don't know what their power is. They don't know what their power is. And so when you got a woman that's truly feminine, when you have a woman that knows how to pour into you as a man, When you got a woman that knows what the assignment is, it makes the relationship better. But see, sisters like Sister Bashur, sisters like Shalakemia, sisters that are advocates for black love and black men, they're called mammies and pick-me. So you can't win for losing. But you want men to come back and serve and put their lives on the line for what? What are they getting? Are they getting wholesome traditional women? Are they getting wholesome women with low body counts? Or wholesome women that don't have kids by multiple men? Are they getting wholesome women that respect and honor male leadership? Men understand that our value, we got to earn our value. We're not, of course, some men are born with better genetics at like height, like I'm 6'5", 6'6". Of course, some men are born with different genetics. But every man is not born with genetics. Women are born with the things that men love, hips, breasts, curves, and all. But men got to earn their value. But many modern women don't understand that. And that's why it's a crisis in relationship. That's why relationships, y'all make sure y'all tune into the show tonight. I'm going to have the OG Ron Wills. Make sure y'all share that stream for the night, guys. Go on the stream right now. Share it because I got the OG Ron Wills in the house. It's going to be a good show. And Ron Wills is going to be breaking down. And shout out to Minnie Alexander because she came up with the 3 Ds of relationship. Shout out to Minnie Alexander. Penis, drinks, and dinner. And that's what modern dating has been reduced to. DICK, drinks, and dinner. But guess what? Women say, what happened to chivalry? Well, and where did it go? Well, y'all made chivalry go away. Because when men tried to be chivalrous, y'all called those men lames. But you wanted the bad boys. You wanted the Raekwons and the Man-Mans and the Day-Days and the Shermites and them. But now all your values gone. Your best years are gone. You've been used up by so many men. And you want men to still treat you like you're special. You're not. You're not. How are you special when you gave all your virtue away? How are you special to a man when you're nowhere near like your mothers and your grandmothers and your great-great-grandmothers? And some of your mothers want nothing. But especially your grandmothers and your great-grandmothers. Those women understood what the assignment was. Those women understood that in order to keep a man, you had to pour into a man. But see, here's the problem. So many now come into relationships broken. So many now come into relationships dealing with vicarious trauma. So many now guys come into relationships, women listening to their girlfriends. So many now come into relationships thinking that all men are bad because they haven't properly healed. They haven't healed properly. So many now come into relationships overgeneralizing because it's a thinking error. It's called a cognitive distortion. They come into relationships broken because they have not been properly trained how to pour into a man. Men are very simple. Men want peace. They want honor and respect. They want a woman that's clean and feminine. They want a woman that knows how to pour into him, a woman that's a good listener and a nurturer. But see, many men compromise their power once again because some of you men got mommy issues. You never had a mama that poured into you as a man. And so you go into relationships on a quest looking for an equitable woman similar to what your mama never gave you. Just like some of these ladies got daddy issues. And that's called a power dynamic because you don't know what your worth is as a man. But the more men know what their worth is, they don't continue to tolerate BS. They don't continue to tolerate mediocrity. Once again, Shakespeare said to what? To thine own self be true. So how do you be true to yourself? You be true to yourself by knowing what your worth is as a man. You be true to yourself by not tolerating mediocrity. You be true to yourself by surrounding yourself with men that think just like you. You be true to yourself by getting rid of women that don't add value to your life as a man. You be true to yourself by knowing what your values are. Let me tell you something I see with a lot of men now in modern times. Many men don't know what their value is. And many times, many modern women, they don't want you to know what your value is. That's why when men begin to travel, they are flabbergasted by the love and the respect they get. See, what women don't understand is that men really would love to be with American women. But see, shout out to my man Peaceful Life. He came with a concept called relationship capitalism. And I parroted that because I never heard people talk about it before, guys, in the past. I parroted that with a concept called hoflation. And so Peace of Life said that relationship capitalism simply means this. Relationship capitalism simply means I'm going to get the best woman that I can afford. Meaning I got to do the work as a man. I got to go to school. I got to earn my value by keeping my body intact. I got to earn the value by making sure I have resources. I got to earn the value by having my talk game on point. I got to earn the value by more or less leading my woman in the right direction. But some of these men don't know how to lead because now we got a generation of boys being raised without strong masculine men. It's not going to change, guys, in our lifetime. It's over. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this has been going on for the last 30, 40 years. I just had a conversation with my homeboy last night. He was a basketball coach, and he's talked about out of the 15 kids that he coached, he said only 2 had 2-parent intact homes. But now they'll wonder why men don't want to get into long-term relationships. Men say, get in relationships for what? Why would I get into a relationship? What's the benefit of a man getting into a relationship now with a modern woman? Once again, a modern woman is totally different than a traditional woman. Women like Sister Bashur is a traditional woman. Now, one will argue, has she always been that way or did she evolve? I don't know. But she does respect and love her husband. And she understands that the femininity that she brings, the healthy foods that she brings, the nurturing that she brings, the love making that she brings, it makes her husband a better man. Teddy was giving folks a game years ago. Teddy Pendergrass said, you inspire me, but see, here's the problem. Many modern women don't know how to inspire a man. Now, some say that Shaq was out here doing dirt. I don't know, he probably was. But did Shaunie Oneal inspire her man? I'm not excusing Shaq for him cheating on his woman, but we don't know if she cheated on him as well. But did Shaunie Oneal inspire her man to be a better version of himself? And one would probably argue she probably didn't. Because once again, modern women, now guys, they're not taught to be traditional women. They're just not taught. Sister Bashur said, my husband's very patient and a loving man. Patient, loving, but firm. I love him, but no doubt, sister, much respect to you. Byron Hammer said, Mr. Kosher, have you seen BJ's short clip about the types of women to get with by ethnicity? I haven't seen that, but I will look into that. Thank you, Brother Barry. She said that my mother is a divorcee from my father. When she was with a man, I watched her cook and serve her man. I watched her support her man. I learned from her. Excellent, sister, no doubt. Much love and respect to you. When my stepfather went fishing, when he catches and keeps, I watched my mother clean and gut the fish. Before my stepfather retired and worked second shift, she would prep a plate for him. And okay, excellent. So you were raised to be a traditional woman. But see, a lot of women come into these spaces, popping the neck like a chicken and talking about, I'm with my man for all the years. We're not talking about you. If you're a good traditional woman, if you understand the assignment, kudos to you. But we're talking about modern women like Shaunie Oneal. Modern women that don't understand the assignment. Modern women that expect more, but they give less. Modern women that are slaves to their emotions instead of being a slave to that relationship. Modern women that don't understand that there's power and service. Modern women that don't understand that the more she serve her man, the more she learn how to study that man, the more that man is more apt to give her. Relationships are about mutually being beneficial. I take care of my man on the front end. He takes care of me on the back end. I pour into my man, and my man turns back around and pours back into me. It's called a symbiosis. It's called a symbiotic relationship. But what I see many times in couples counseling, the women come into relationships thinking that the man's supposed to serve them. You guys will be appalled at the amount of couples that I see in couples therapy that are in sexless marriages and sexless relationships. And that's a form, guys, of emotional abuse. It is not healthy for a woman to deprave her husband from sex, because sex is important to a man. But the question would be that Shaunie Oneal take care of her man's sex. I'm not saying she didn't, because I know Shaq was out here doing dirt as well. But once again, we don't know if Shaunie Oneal was doing dirt, guys. We don't know if Shaunie Oneal was doing dirt. And so is she upset because Shaq got him a young, hot, tight woman with a tight body and perky breasts? And that might be the culprit. That might be the culprit that Shaq got him a young, hot woman with perky breasts, and she don't like it. And Many times women are very vindictive. And now she got to come out and say, I don't know if I really love Shaq. That's what she got to say to make herself feel good. Because so many are slaves to their feelings. See, the problem with so many modern women, guys, is that the sexual revolution have told women they can do what they want to do. And they can do what they want to do. That's their business. But it comes with a consequence. It comes with a price. When you get used to being with multiple men and different men imprinting you, and especially you got imprinted by bull, now it makes it irretrievably hard for you to love a man because your oxytocin receptors are burnt down. But see, when you got with one good man and you ain't been with a lot of men, it's easier to love that man. But when you've been with a lot of men and your oxytocin receptors are burnt down, it's harder for you to love that man and to value that man. And so now many men are saying, you know what? They're becoming apathetic. They're becoming indifferent. And Shaunie Oneal keeps proving why men are coming to spaces like this. Listen, the manosphere or red pill content didn't recruit men. We didn't go out here. They didn't go out there sending flyers out to recruit men. But men came to the space trying to find answers because they thought they were crazy. They thought they were crazy. You're right, Biohammer. Modern women are driven by social media and trends. You're correct. Sister Bashir said, I had a brief moment feminist thinking in my teens, but that went away quickly. Shout out to you, sis, no doubt. But see, the problem is, yeah, she remarried, right? She remarried Bashir. She did get married. Well, my stepfather has apartments at the VA, which is distant away from the house. My mother goes with him. The same way the same in my husband's house. I travel to the VA with him for appointments as well, right? And so women like you and your mother, y'all are assets to men. Men are looking for traditional women like you. But see, Sister Bashir, you were from the time when Gen X women, they weren't perfect. But we had more women that were traditional. It wasn't nothing for a woman to cook a man a meal. A woman didn't mind cooking her man a hot meal, showing her man some love. But this generation of women now haven't been trained to do that. They don't know anything about it. So now with no fault divorce, men losing half of their assets, false accusations, with a woman saying, I don't love you anymore, a man can forfeit everything that he's worked hard for a woman that has not been trained and conditioned to be a wife. I'm going to say it again. A woman cannot love you unless she can control her emotions for the greater good of that relationship. When your woman can learn how to control her emotions for the greater good goal of that relationship, that means that woman loves you. Because it's no longer about how she feels, because women can be slaves to their feelings like men can be slaves to their egos. Men are slaves to their egos because they think by giving a woman resources without making that woman earn it, it can make that woman love that man, and it never works. That woman got to see value in you first. That woman got to know off rip that she respects you as a man. But the reason why a lot of these women can't be wise and treat their men with respect because they're damaged. They're damaged from dealing with Raekwon, Man, and Day and them. Many got unresolved trauma as well. Many been riding on the rooster carousel for years. So when they come into a relationship, what does she have to offer, man? Nothing. But these are the same ones that tell you I want a man to be a provider and pay all the bills. What is he getting in return? See, women like Sister Bashir's grandmother was a virtuous woman. And women, even prior, they were virtuous women. But the way you were here, you would think that all men were bad. You would think that all men violated women, abused them, and hurt them. Not understanding that many times a lot of women in the past, they were getting it in too. When the man went off to war, those women were having children out of wedlock. But women have been so psychologically conditioned to think that men are bad that when a man tries to profess his love for a woman, or when a man tries to be a masculine man, and because they've had so much experience dealing with multiple men, they can't love that man. So men are saying to themselves, why am I getting in a relationship for? What is the purpose for getting into a relationship? So many talk about a concept called black love. What is black love? They want black love. They want what we had in Gen X, which is holding a woman's hand, which is courting, which is driving on the freeway playing Anita Baker, or playing traditional gospel music or choir music. That's what they want, but do they deserve that? This generation of women is different. They're from a totally new breed. They're totally different. But once again, Gen X women, at least some of them, or many of them, then counted robbery to cook their man a meal. It was no. I remember women in Gen X say, "I'm a cook for my man." They didn't call that slavery. But somehow now it's morphed into, if you cook for a man or clean for a man, it's slavery. Or they'll say, if you do courtship things to get a man, I'm not doing that for a man unless that's my husband. But I thought you were auditioning for to be a wife. When you're auditioning for to be a wife, serving a man is nothing. I didn't say you got to shack up with him. I didn't say you got to live with him. But you should be auditioning to be a wife. So now men are beginning to wake up. Men are becoming indifferent to relationships because they don't see the benefit. They don't see the benefit of dealing with modern women anymore. They say, what am I getting in return? What am I getting from a woman that if she got children by multiple men, she's going to put her job, those kids first, her job first, her dog, and then you come in fourth place. And then she also got the potential going back to that ex, I'm being intimate with him. What is the benefit? And it is no benefit. That's why Shakespeare said, to thine own self be true. You got to be true to yourself. And when you learn how to be true to yourself, then everything else take care of itself. And that's why, once again, women like Shaunie Oneal are proving why men are doing what they're doing now. Men are becoming indifferent. They say, I don't see no benefit for getting no relationship. Sister Bashua said, I'm proud of Gen X. I don't get these millennials and Gen Zs. Yeah, I don't get them either. That's why I say I would never deal with the typical modern woman. If I got a younger woman, again, as a single man, if I was a single man, she would come from a traditional culture where they were raised to be wives. I wouldn't even look at this mess here now. I wouldn't even look at it. If I found one that was rare, then maybe. But after being married for 20, the amount of years I've been married to, I wouldn't deal with the typical modern woman. I don't have time to reteach or tell a woman what I need in the relationship. Either her mother, her family, her community taught her, or I ain't got time to teach you, sweetie. I'm trying to make my money. I'm trying to make my paper. So I don't have time to teach you how to be a traditional woman. Either you understand the assignment or you don't understand the assignment. And sadly, many now, they don't understand the assignment. They don't understand the assignment. And many don't care about the assignment. The only thing they care about is what they want from that man in relationship. Gregory Scotland said, be telling kids about two different men and rainbow. The influence due to social media and the entertainment industry strong. Yes, ma'am, it is. Byron Hammer said, what I found annoying are those videos, hyenas that portray men as yesteryears. Right. It's called overgeneralization. Byron Hammer. It's a cognitive distortion. Many of these modern women have cognitive distortions. And so I'm gonna go back and finish reading what Shaunie said, and then I'm gonna finish listening to what Peaceful Life said in his video. I happened to see this when I got up early this morning. But Shaunie said that he added, trust me, I get it. The couple married in 2002 and divorced in 2011. Their marriage didn't even damn last 20 years. So guys, the years of finding women that you're gonna be married to for 20 plus years, those days are gone, man. Because see, the sexual revolution taught women they can have fun and ride on the rooster carousel their whole lives, and there wasn't a consequence for it. Women and men are not the same. We're just not. And I'm gonna prove my point. There are double standards for both sexes. There are many women that have been with other women. I call them beaver bumpers. But let a man say that I've been with a man before. Men can't do that because that man will be ostracized. The same women that promote and support alphabet men, they would never take a man that's been with another man. They already call men happy off the cusp. You know, anytime men have standards or with the soft guy era, they say, oh, he must be gay. But yet some of those same women that call men gay have been with other women. Make it make sense, guys. You can't make this stuff up. And so now, once again, now you're beginning to see why men are beginning to check out, why men are becoming indifferent in relationships. Because it's no benefit. It's not that men don't want to be in relationships. It's not that men don't want to get with women that can be equitable and add value to their lives, but they don't see a benefit. And once again, as a therapist, I try to teach couples that in relationships, it has to be mutually beneficial. It's called positive reinforcement. My woman take care of me, I take care of my woman. But in relationships now, the men are constantly chasing the validation of that woman on a basis concept called love. And that's why you should never marry for love alone. Love your woman within reason. But you never love that woman more than God and your purpose. Because women are slaves to their feelings, like many times men can be slaves to their egos, as I said earlier in the show. Men think based on their ego that I can change that woman by giving her resources. Men think based on ego that I can change that woman by giving her a ring. Men think based on ego that I can change that woman by proving my love to her. The way you prove your love to her is by setting standards. The way you prove your love to her is by having values. The way that you prove your love to her is by checking her, because she's looking for you to lead her, not you leading her, not her leading you. The problem with men now in relationship, they're being led by their women. And that's a turnoff to a woman. Women like men that set standards. Raekwon the Man stand and say, I'll cut you off quick. That's why they love Raekwon the Man. Because Raekwon the Man cut them off quick. Raekwon the Man give them that wood. And when she gets out of line, Raekwon the Man is gone. So now she's chasing the validation of a man. But many play and use reverse psychology on modern men, because modern men, once again, they don't know what their power is. She said, I'd enjoyed those sweet early years being a mother and raising my children. My days were always busy with kids and family. And even now I got to travel, enjoy a little bit of the NBA highlight. And see, here's the problem, guys. You can put a woman into a nice home. You can give her all the accoutrements of a traditional woman, and it's never enough. It's never enough. You can give her a 10-carat ring, and it's never enough. Because the reason why it's never enough, because sometimes so many of you men have been conditioned to give to a woman without making her earn it. Make that woman earn that relationship, like she's going to make you earn her. Make her earn it, because when you make her earn it, she respects you more. Her mama should have taught her this, sad that she has failed. Yes, she failed it. You're right, sis. Mr. Coach, your baby mama wants a God-fearing man to pay all her debts, pay for her children's upbringing and education, and be quiet. Probably driven him to an early grave. I got a good show coming up on that biohammer soon, brother. Many men are going to the grave broken because they're stressed out. I just had a dear friend that used to come into my chats and to show me love and support. And he passed away. He's gone. So the question remains, what is the value of a man? Is the value of a man only utility? Or is the value of a man seeing that he has intrinsic worth and he has intrinsic needs as well? But see, we live in a world where the world has not taught, women have not taught their daughters to see men as being human beings. Some of these women haven't taught their daughters to see a man as being valuable. But they want men that they can control, but also they want men that can provide them with resources. I call it taxation without representation, or the commodification of subjugation. I see that man as a commodity, only to be subjugated based on my emotions. That's why I keep telling you, man, over and over again, don't be besmirched by a woman's body, her looks, and all that goofy stuff. All that mess is irrelevant. We understand natural attraction, but what you should be looking for is that woman emotionally mature. Does she know how to regulate her emotions? Does she know how to put her feelings aside for the greater good of that relationship? Does she understand duty? Does she understand the mission? Women years ago understood the mission. That's why those relationships lasted, and they could enjoy each other into their latter years. You know how powerful it is, guys, after you and your husband worked hard in your 20s and your 30s, and now you built up wealth. And now that the wealth that you built up as a couple, now y'all can travel. You couldn't travel as much, but y'all can travel. Y'all can see the world. That's powerful. But see, the modern woman thinks by default, she's supposed to get all those things off cuss for free. Because we call that in the clinical world negative socialization. She has not been socialized to acquiesce to the whims of a righteous man. We're not talking about men that are not equitable, but we're talking about decent men. Some of you guys have heard and understood that many men now are not even getting intimacy. Most men, a lot of men, they say at least 33% of men are still virgins. More men now are in sexist marriages or sexual relationships and marriages probably any time in human history. So the demands of the woman is going up, but the quality of the woman is going down. When I was growing up in Gen X, average women got with average men. But then you got average women to subpar women because they got their backs blown out by athletes and good-looking men. They think they're supposed to get those men. And by the time she get with a man, you know, she's been with so many of the top tier guys, that man can never please her. And what you're seeing now is a generation of brokenness, a generation of cultural dysfunction. Sister Bashua said, I'm about to surprise my husband by baking some homemade chocolate chip cookies. I guess that makes me a pygmy and a slave. No, it makes you a righteous woman. You're a good woman. I respect. And let me tell you something, guys. We should always show love and respect to women that honor and respect men, because it's hard for women out here, the good sisters, that are trying to respect and honor their men. Because the world tries to shame. And let me tell you something, guys. I'm not looking to save this generation of women. Shout out to the remnant sisters. There's some remnant sisters out here that are good women, but I'm not looking to save them. I personally don't give a damn. I'm not looking to save them. I'm not looking to save no community either, because it's broken. It's going to take years to get this thing back right. But what I am trying to do is bring awareness to the men that are single. What I am trying to do is bring awareness to the men that want traditional wives. What I am trying to do is that I told you guys that there are 7 steps to male optimization: faith, family, finances, female psychology, world travel, male mental and male physical health. Once you learn to understand, once you understand those 7 principles, then you become kosher. You become kosher. Once you understand that there's an illusion when it comes down to modern dating. An illusion means I think I see good, equitable women. That's an illusion. But a delusion, when we show you guys the evidence over and over and over and over again, and you still keep thinking that solid women exist, that's a delusion. Now listen, we understand and know that there are some decent women this level. I'm not saying out here thinking that all women are bad. I'm not saying that, but here's the problem. I categorize women and guys, women into categories: great women, good women, and worthless women. There was a time when I grew up in the 90s, in the early 80s, you could find pretty good women. There were still some good women left. The great women were the Proverbs 31 women. They were rare. Those great women are rare. Those are rare women. Those women just understand. The Bible said those women are like gems. But the problem now is that you have more modern, trifling, liberally indoctrinated women than women that are great women. And because they're not great women to good women, then men are not getting their needs met. Listen, we know that there are dusty men out here. We know that there are men that that have not been trained to be masculine men. We know that there are predatory men that have used women and hurt women, and it's caused these women to be broken. But once again, some of these women love those types of men. So you got a generation of broken men and women. But at least most men, I would argue to my critics, know and understand that they got to earn their value. That they just can't expect and say, I deserve a good woman. You don't deserve anything. Because see, when you start saying I deserve, that right there is entitlement. Right, she was only with Shaq for his ends. Pathetic, right. Show honor to the decent women in the, yeah, no doubt, Gregory. You're 100% correct. Guys, once again, I got a good show coming up tonight. I got my man Ron Wills. He's going to be in the house. Ron Wills is an OG. I consider Ron Wills, Black Ram. They talked about relationships and dating for years. Ron Wills has been in the game for a long time. He probably is around there with Alan Roger Curry. These guys were way before Kevin Samuels. So I'm going to have Ron Wills in the show tonight, guys. Make sure y'all support the stream and share the stream. Donate to the channel. It takes a lot of work to do this. I got to see a client in a few minutes. I'm about to go live in a few minutes, guys, to see a patient. But I saw this pop on my screen. I saw Peace of Life talking about it, and I decided to talk about it. And I'm gonna get back into it in a minute. But so anyway, she said, I enjoyed those sweet early years being a mother and raising my children. My days were always busy with kids, and every now and then I got to travel and enjoy a little bit of the NBA life. But invisible, my marriage was beginning to crumble. Henderson wrote. I wonder why her marriage was beginning to crumble. You know, I don't understand some of these women. They get with these athletes. They want the high life, but nothing is ever enough. As I've written, it was obviously early on, you know how when you get sick and the symptoms are so mild that you're not even sure that you're sick. She wanted a high-profile athlete, but now she's complaining about it. The things that were in my early years, I was busy and happy and didn't know what was going on. But as the disease progressed, the symptoms became harder and harder to ignore. The couple shares 4 children, sons Sharif, Shakir, daughters Amira and Miara, while Oneal has a daughter, Tahira, from a prior relationship, and Henderson has a son, Miles, from a previous relationship. Henderson wrote that Oneal had a habit of getting missing and that she suspected infidelity. And see, oh yeah, you said, how can you, what is your cash up? I appreciate it, brother. It's, hold tight. Actually, let me put it in the chat. Hold tight. I'm gonna send it to you. Let me put it in the chat. Hold tight. Give me 1 minute. I'm gonna send it to you. Let's see. Hold tight. Give me 1 minute. I'm gonna send it to you. Let's see. Hold tight. So it's $. Give me 1 minute. I'm gonna send it to you. Let's see. Hold tight. So it's $. Give me 1 minute. It's $7 smalls. That's my cash app. If you guys want to show some love and support, $7 smalls. That's the cash app. But anyway, Shaunie said that she suspected infidelity. $7 small. Appreciate it, Scott H. I appreciate it, brother. But she said, I suspected infidelity. And once again, I don't understand why women get with high-profile athletes. They know they were whores before they got one more out here in the game running around. But then they turn around and complain about it. You're dealing with a high-profile athlete. I'm not saying it's right. But when you got women that are groupies throwing themselves at men, it's hard to resist. That's why I don't even understand why get with an athlete. But see, women are slaves to hypergamy because Shaunie Oneal could have got an average man. Shaunie Oneal could have got an average, hard-working, blue-collar man, but she didn't want that average man. She wanted a high, top-tier man like Shaquille O'Neal because, once again, they are slaves to their emotions. They're slaves to hypergamy. And then they're slaves to hypergamy, meaning they want the best of the best of the best of the best men. And when they don't get that man, they monkey branch to another man. But then they turn around and complain about it. She could have easily got an average man, but she didn't want an average man. She wanted a top tier man like Shaq. So she said, I was in love with the idea of building a life together. I truly did enjoy spending time with him. NBA road trips gave me a chance to be with my husband and experience the NBA life for a while. Last June, Oneal admitted where he came up short as a husband. Shaq took ownership for it. But is she taking ownership for saying, or more or less not realizing that she was a slave to her emotions? I appreciate it, Brother Scott. Thank you, sir, for the love. Brother Scott with the 10. Thank you, Brother Scott. Thank you, sir. I appreciate your love, sir. Thank you. Thank you for being so kind, man. I really appreciate that. And guys, if you want to donate to the channel, please do. Once again, guys, let me show you guys something. I want you guys to click on this because I got a good show coming up tonight. I'm going to be with Ron Wills. Ron Wills is a relationship expert. He is an OG. I call him an OG of OGs. And Ron Wills is going to be on the show tonight, guys. I look forward to breaking it down with him. Guys, do me a favor. I need everybody right now to go ahead. I'm going to send you, I'm going to put the link in the, I'm going to put the link in. Guys, go ahead and click on that link for me. Click on that link, guys. Hit the like button. Go ahead and click on that link for the show tonight. Get the algorithm popping because we're going to have a good show tonight. Go ahead and click on that link. Once y'all click on it, hit 1. Let me know when you click on it, guys. I need everybody to the 18 that are watching to click on that, on the link. Go ahead and click on that link. And once you click on that link, hit the like button. It'll tell the algorithm that the show is going to be pushed. We're going to have a good show tonight with Ron Wills. Ron Wills, once again, is a YouTube OG. He's one of the old school brothers to talk about relationships. We're going to break this thing down. We might even talk about the Shaunie Oneal fiasco. So guys, go ahead and hit that like button for me, please. I appreciate it. But anyway, I don't understand why women get upset and they get with top tier athletes. They know they were running game. They know they were with women. And then you think they're going to stop. These women are ruthless. When you got women with bubble butts, nice bodies and nice shapes, they come in groups trying to seduce these men. It's hard to turn it down. Not trying to justify Shaq's actions, but it's hard to turn that down. So once again, you can't sit up and complain about it, man. You should be saying, you know why I should have never married an athlete? Because the athlete's going to get it in. And then you should also blame the sisterhood for trying to mess with your man. But see, once again, women don't want to take accountability. They don't want to take self-introspection. Thank you, David Qualls. I think everyone, besides Brother David, go ahead and hit that like button, guys. The link has been put in the chat. Hit that like button so that y'all can see the show later on tonight with Ron Wills. Ron Wills, once again, is an OG. She said, my first one was a baby mama, Arnett Yarborough, and then I met Shaunie. Shaunie was also a perfect woman, and I messed up. So Shaq is admitting that he messed up. But once again, is she admitting that she messed up by marrying a pro athlete? Yeah, you know, you were young and always doing dumb stuff, but the good thing about our relationship is they forgave me and we had good relationships now. But when you ask me about the perfect woman, I had 2 perfect women and I messed up. Okay, he's being honest. But once again, I would say for Shaq, man, I mean, yeah, Shaq took ownership that he messed up, but then again, why even get married at that age anyway, man? Why even get married at that young age if you know that, you know, you weren't ready to do it? And maybe he thought he was ready. He relayed the advice he gave his sons in a relationship. First thing you want to do is be honest with yourself and honest with the woman. I tell my sons all the time, a man that has 3 jobs, a man has 3 jobs when it comes down to a woman. Protect, provide, and love. Well, listen, I agree with Sean, but I mean, Shaq, but it got to also be reciprocated. Are the women teaching their daughters that they got a responsibility to love, honor, and obey? Because see, a lot of boys are being raised to this by default, give a woman all the adoration and love of a woman, but is it being reciprocated? And that's the problem. I believe in mutual reciprocation. I believe the men should take care of the woman, and once again, I believe the woman should take care of the man. But the question is it being reciprocated? And one will argue that it's not being reciprocated, guys, in modern times. One will argue that modern women have not been adequately trained to reciprocate back to their men. Some men can offer 2 for whatever reason, but I'm going to teach you how to offer all 3. But see, here's the problem with that. There's nothing wrong with what Shaq is saying if the woman are teaching their daughters the same thing. Men by default have been trained to do all these extra things for a woman. But once again, the question is, are the women being trained to do the same thing? Are the women being trained to do the same thing? Guys, once again, hit that link to the bottom. Hit that link and go hit the like button. I need 15 people to hit the link and like the like button. Do that for me now, guys. It'll tell the algorithm to push the show forward. I need the 15 people that are watching. Go hit that link and hit the like button because they'll tell the algorithm to promote the show for tonight. So please do that. That will help me out a whole lot, and I greatly appreciate it. So let's finish listening to what Peaceful Life say, guys, before I get ready to see this next client. I just wanted to respond to it. Shout out to that brother. But I think he's right. Shaq responds to comments made by Sean Oneal, lesson for men dealing with bitter women. I think he's on to something. I think she is somewhat bitter. Even though she got a pastor, but her pastor husband is not a Shaquille O'Neal. For some reason, because some women have narcissistic traits. I didn't say they were narcissists, but they do have the traits. They can be happy, but they don't want you to be happy. So listen to what my man is saying. Hold tight.
She's all on here flexing, making statements, making all kinds of crazy statements, and graduating from marriage, putting thirst traps on the internet. Shaunie Oneal's been putting out videos too.
And guys, that's the crazy thing. Have y'all ever seen a generation of women that are proud to say that they graduated from marriage? They catch all the hell and do everything to get a good man, only to say, you know, I don't love you anymore, and now it's time for me to graduate from marriage. I've never in my life, guys, seen such foolishness where a woman says she's ready to graduate. She's ready to graduate from marriage. I've never in my life seen such foolishness. You finally get with a good man, but now you're ready to graduate from marriage. It doesn't make any sense to me. Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense, guys. Especially with so many women now saying they want good relationships, they're looking for men, but now you're happy because you graduated from marriage. It's the silliest mess I ever heard in my life. You're graduating from marriage. A time where the economy is messed up, a time where inflation's at an all-time high, a time that people are just damn trying to live and survive, and you glad that you graduated from marriage. Like Kevin Samuels said, you can't make this issue up. But you wonder why men don't want to be in relationships anymore. You consistently talk about what you yearn for in yesterday's black love, but what is black love when you can't be when you're constantly a slave to your emotions? What is black love when you don't know how to honor and respect a man? What is black love when you don't understand the importance of duty? What is black love when you don't understand that when you get in a relationship, men don't want women that have been ran through? What is black love when you don't understand that the men, most men, I would say most men want women that value themselves and treat them kind to them? I keep telling women over and over again, you'll get so much more from a man once you understand how men think. Tia graduate to the future, congratulate. Yeah, I agree with you 100%, Byron. Guys, did y'all hit the link for me like I asked? If everybody hit that link, it's saying that nobody hit the like button. So I need everybody right now before I get off this live stream in the next 15 minutes, go hit that like button. I need everybody to hit that like button for the stream I got tonight with Ron Wills. So do me a favor, guys, hit that like button. Hit the like button for the stream I got tonight. Share this stream now. Because once again, guys, relationships are in trouble. And it's not going to change. I don't think it's going to change in our lifetime, guys. I don't see it changing in our lifetime. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I don't see it changing in our lifetime. Let me finish this on what Peaceful Life was saying, because he teaches a concept called relationship capitalism. But relationship capitalism now said it's turned to something called hoeflation. Hold tight.
About the guy, you know, not her, not that situation, but you know, there's all kinds of things going on in terms of what's being put out here in the media, and these guys are not responding. The perfect response to those. You can't win, because the moment you respond with any type of emotional response, it's going to be used against you as a man. Corey Hardrick knows that. Shaq knows that. Shaq's making too much money. Corey Hardrick is making money too. He get it. You're not going to win that emotional game. Let's face it, women can't beat us up. Even when I make videos on this channel and women don't like it, they try and bait me into an argument or a fight. What you get from me is this. They call me old.
And so basically, he's basically saying that men can't have standards. That's what it sounds like. The men, guys, can't have standards. He's basically saying that when men say, I got standards, I got needs, I got wants, it's often met on deaf ears. That's what it sounds like to me. That I can't have standards, I can't make demands, and I can't say what I want. And so he's basically saying that when men say they have standards, guys, it's met on deaf ears. But we wonder why so many men are checking out in relationships. We wonder why so many men are becoming indifferent. We wonder why so many men are being slaves to their purpose and being slaves to something called emotions. We wonder why. And as I said before, once again, guys, a lot of guys want to be in good relationships. A lot of guys want to be with good women. But who's teaching these women how to respond to the needs of a man? And many will say, not many at all. Men are not teaching these men how to be slaves, how to treat men and treat them well. And now it's so bad, some of these men's standards are so darn low that when other men speak out and say what they want in a relationship, they try to shame them back into silence. So you can't damn win for losing, sadly. Shout out to my man Top Gun. Top Gun, man, I ain't forgot you, brother. I'm gonna hit you back up later, man, after I see this client, man. That's why Top Gun right now, damn. Top Gun is overseas right now enjoying themselves. And Top Gun is the #1 sponsor of the stream, followed by Gregory Scott. And I appreciate Top Gun for the 10. Guys, once again, go check out that show tonight. I got a good show with the OG Ron Wills tonight. It's going to be a good show. Make sure you guys check it out. Help the algorithm. I need you guys to help me with the algorithm because I don't know if they're suppressing my content. I'm ready to get back in this algorithm, guys, and start pushing for traditional men to get with traditional women that love and respect them. That's what I'm pushing for. So, guys, go hit the algorithm. Shout out to Top Gun. Brother, I'm going to call you later tonight as Top Gun is the #1 sponsor of the stream. But let me finish listening to what Peaceful Life is saying because I think he got some good pointers. Hold tight. And guys, share the stream, please. Share the stream. Hold tight.
You know, cornball, where's your wife? Like, that really matters to men. Since women are out here giving away their box to us, giving us all the benefits of marriage, you think men care about marriage when women are giving away all the benefits of marriage? Like, that's shaming language to us? And I just be laughing because it's funny. Because again, you're living rent-free in their head, and which is not maybe a good thing, but Shaq is living rent-free in Shaunie Oneal's head. And that's why she made that statement. And like Corey Hardrick is probably living rent-free in Tia Mari's head, and he's living rent-free in these modern women's head too, because they got nothing to come at him for. They have no weaponry to attack because he's giving them that stoicism, that quiet, that calm, and Shaq is hitting with the positive responses. The beautiful, if I could orchestrate a strategy or give a strategy for men, that would be the strategy, because you're not going to win.
And so, guys,
especially in the Black community, that's a matriarchal culture. You got simps. You got.
He's correct. There is power in being indifferent. Peaceful Life is correct. There is power in indifference. There's power in indifference, guys. And the more you become indifferent, the better. Guys, once again, hit that link, guys, for the show tonight. Hit that link. Go click one. Go click like. It's going to tell the algorithm to push the show. So I need you guys to help me out to the 18 that are watching. Go hit that like button. Ron Wills, we're going to kill it on tonight. We're going to talk about the three Ds in relationships, a term that was coined by Minnie Alexander. But I felt like Ron Wills was the perfect one to talk about this or to parrot the conversation or get the conversation started. Because now dating has been reduced to dinner, drinks, and penis. And they want to be romance, but guys, that romance for what? Why am I going to romance for you and buy you damn dinners and stuff, only for you to go after you? I buy you a dinner, go get your back blown out by Raekwon. So guys are getting hip to the game, man. It's funny to me. I laugh at them. It's so funny now. So funny.
Modern women are going to come for you, especially these simps that like to come over here and virtue signal and attack men, thinking that if they say certain things against men, the women are going to like them. It's going to give them some box. No, you doofuses. They're still going to...
Shout out to Byron Hammer TV. Shout out, brother, for the two. Thank you, Byron Hammer. Thank you, sir.
Emotional thing you give them, the support, the attention, the validation for their feelings. And guess what? You'll still be stroking yourself tonight because you simped for nothing. You gave away your energy. You give your emotional energy away and you simp for nothing. And you took an L. So, anyhow, like I was saying, getting back to the topic at hand. This is...
So the question is, guys, I need y'all to hit one. How many of you guys still believe in a concept called love? How many of you men still believe in love? How many of you sisters that are listening still believe in love? How many still believe in love? If you believe in love, hit 1. If you don't believe in the concept called love, hit 2. I personally don't believe in the concept called love in general. I'm not against loving a woman, but I don't believe you should love a woman to the point that you lose yourself. I don't believe you should love a woman to the point that you lose what your values are. I don't believe in that. But I do believe, once again, you should love within reason. Byron Hammer said, probably when I was young. David Quall said, two guys, once again, guys, it's 15 folks watching. Did you guys hit the like button on the link that I said? Go ahead and do it now. If you did hit the like button, hit 1. But some of the guys said when they were younger, but guys are beginning to understand that the concept called love is foolish. Barbara and David, make sure y'all hit that link, man, for the show tonight with Ron Wills. We're going to kill it. But many men are beginning to understand that it's foolish. And it doesn't benefit men. So men are saying, why am I going to fall in love? Fall in love for what? Because, guys, at the end of the day, it's never enough. It's never enough. Men are beginning to understand, sadly, that it's never enough. If you don't believe me, ask James Ingram. James Ingram said it better than me back in the 80s. He said, I gave my best, but I guess my best wasn't good enough. And there's Shaunie Oneal, once again, is playing the victim. She's playing the victim by getting with a man that she knew was an OG. She getting with a man that she knew that he probably was being with multiple women. But now all of a sudden, she's playing the role of a victim. I mean, you got with a multimillionaire that was 7 feet 2. You know other women want. I don't understand why women get upset when they want the same men that every other woman want, but then expect that man to be loyal. And ideally, he should be loyal. But when you got multiple women throwing themselves at you, they hot, got nice bodies, it's hard for men to turn that down. Sister Bashir said, love is not a feeling, it's not abstract, it's a choice. We choose to love someone by our action towards the individual. Most people equate love in the abstract, Roman viewpoint based on emotions. Right. That's a good point. But many women tend to, Sister Bashir, equate love as a feeling. And they fall prey to it, because when that feeling goes away, then all of a sudden it's a problem. Byron has said he should only have eyes for me. Yeah. And men are not wired that way. Men are by nature, are very visual. And men can care about a woman, but if he's not disciplined, he can sleep with multiple women. And, I'm not saying it's right, and not think nothing of it. So once again, guys, I'm about to end this stream. We got a show coming up tonight. I asked some of you guys to hit the like button. I need you guys to go ahead and hit that for me for the last time. Go ahead and hit that like button for the stream. Actually, let me send it to y'all one more time. Please go and hit it. I'm going to send y'all the link one more time. Go ahead and hit that link. We got a good show coming up tonight. Guys, hit this link for tonight, for the show tonight with Ron Wills. We're going to have a good show. And it's going to be talking about the 3 Ds of dating and relationships, why dating is going awry. Support. So what's up, Corey Joe? How you doing, sir? Hit that link for me, guys. That's the link. Hit the link, please. Hit this link. Hit the like button. Y'all hit that like button. Hit that link. Go and hit the like button. And we're going to kill the game on tonight. But once again, Shaunie Oneal proves you can't love or take modern women serious. You can't take them serious. Because you can never do enough. And that's the whole essence of the whole conversation. You can never do enough. And once you realize that, once you understand that, and guys, you don't start taking stuff serious. You don't take none of that stuff serious once you understand that it's never enough. It's never enough. And Shaunie Oneal is proving that. So guys, hit that like button. We're going to end the stream in a minute. I got to get ready for a session in about 4 minutes. Got to get ready for a session. 3 dots at the top to like it. Right. All you got to do, guys, is to hit that link for the show tonight. I got a show with Ron Wills. Hit this link for the show. Yeah, right. The 3 dots at the top to like it, right. And go click on that. Go click on that, and it'll get the algorithm pumping for me. So if you go ahead and click on it for the show tonight, it'll get the algorithm popping. So we're going to end it in a minute, guys. Thank y'all to the 20 that came in early, 22 that came in early. I wish trying to get this thing to the point where we have more folks coming in. I got to figure it out, but it's going to take some time. But I just did this show, guys, to prove the point that you can't take modern women seriously, guys. You can't take them serious. You cannot take many of them serious. And finding a traditional good woman, it's like finding a woman finding a needle in a haystack. So we're gonna end the stream. We're gonna end the stream, guys. Once again, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Yeah, truthfully, Shaunie is not. Yeah, she ain't a victim. She's not a victim, Corey Joe. Not a victim at all. Because she knew what she was getting. You can't get with a top tier athlete and then complain about it. I mean, it doesn't even make logical sense. That's like a man giving with a woman that got gold digger tendencies, but then turn around and complain about it when you find out she cheated on you. That's like getting with a woman that you know she was a gold digger, and then when she take all your money and get rid of you, start complaining and crying. Doesn't make any sense. So once again, guys, we're going to end this stream. Thank you for the 22 that watched early on. Once again, guys, she can never love you. And love now is just a fleeting emotion that's based on the abstract. When you can learn to control your emotions and love your man outside of yourself, then guys, that's love to a woman. So guys, we're signing off. Thank you to everyone that tuned in. Thank you for Top Gun being the #1 sponsor, followed by Byron Hammer and Greg in Scotland. We got a good show coming up tonight with Ron Wheels, guys. Once again, guys, I appreciate it. Love you, brothers and sisters. We are signing off.